The little boys were found in a drainage ditch, 8-year-olds, mutilated and beaten to death, sickening killings that might have been part of a satanic ritual.
They loved the wood. They were wonderful children. Christopher was a shy one. Michael Moore, he was going to be a police officer. Stevie, I'm so proud of him. He was an achiever. He was a very brilliant, wonderful baby God blessed me with.
On June 6, 1993, just 1 month after the 3 8-year-old boys were found dead in the woods, there were arrests. In custody, 17-year-old Jesse Miskelly, 16-year-old Jason Baldwin, and the alleged ringleader, 18-year-old Damien Echols.
You're familiar with a fellow named Aleister Crowley?
I know
Heard
who
of
he
him?
is. I know
Okay.
who he is.
And he's a guy who kindly professes, he's a noted author in the field of satanic worship, right?
I know he is, but I've never saw any of his books personally.
Okay. Not really much of a follower of his?
I would have read them if I would have saw him, but I just
Okay.
never.
Okay. But Aleister Crowley is a guy that, based on his writings, believes in human sacrifice, doesn't he?
He also believed he was God, though. So.
Aleister Crowley doesn't have any particular significance to you?
I know who he is. I've read a little bit about him, but I've never read anything by him.
Okay. Let me show you a copy of some documents. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. What is that?
It was this paper I had on different alphabets for like translations where you could write things that nobody could read, and this was one of the forms.
Oh, okay. Well, where did you have that at? When did you do that, write those things out?
Sometime before I was arrested, I guess.
Okay. Are you sure that you hadn't done those since you were arrested while you've been staying in jail?
I don't know, I might have.
Well, whose names are written on that document?
Mine, Jason's, my son's, one that says Aleister Crowley, and...
Wait, who?
Aleister Crowley.
Now, this is a document that you've written while you've been waiting in jail for trial, right?
If you say so.
Well, you wrote it, correct? That's your writing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You recall when you wrote it?
Not really.
Well, what I'm going to ask you is that this Damien Seth Azariah Echols, your son, he wasn't born until after you were placed in jail, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if you've got his name listed on this document, then this document had to be generated after he was born, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is something you've written since you've been sitting in here in jail waiting for trial.
Yes.
And what you were doing was writing out various names in different type alphabets, correct?
From the way it looks here, I was practicing, trying to memorize them.
Okay. And one of the names that you picked out to write about was this fellow named Aleister Crowley, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that just a total coincidence? You just pulled his name out of the air?
No, it's just the same book that I had with the different alphabets in it. It also had stuff about him in it.
Well, did you have the book out there at the time you were doing this?
This was just from what I remembered myself, where I was practicing, trying to memorize, get it all in my head perfect.
So you were going over it, and working on it in your head, and at that point in time, you write all this down from memory?
Mm-hmm.
The people that are listed on here, you've got your name on here, right? Mm-hmm. And then Jason Baldwin, which is your best friend, right? And then you've got Damien Seth Azariah Echols. That's your son?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And then the only other name on this document, besides yourself, your best friend, and your son, is Alistair Crowley, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let me refer you back to your statement that you gave Officer Ridge. Did you tell him in that statement that you had been a member of a white witch group for 5 years?
No.
Okay.
I've never been a member of any group.
And so if he put that in his report, you're saying that's inaccurate?
Yes, I am.
He made that up?
Yes, I am.
On question number 9, how do you think the person feels that did this? The answer was probably makes them feel good, gives them power. Now, I guess Officer Ridge said that too.
No, I use common sense on that.
Okay.
If someone was doing it, then they must have wanted to. And if they were doing something they wanted to, it must have made them happy. I don't think they were doing it because someone forced them to or because they didn't want to.
Okay. So in your mind, the person that killed these 3 kids, it's common sense that killing 3 8-year-olds would make you feel good?
Whoever did it, it must have.
Okay. Did you also tell him that each person had a demonic side to them?
I believe every person has a good side and a bad side, yes.
Well, were those your words when he's got written down here, he stated that there was no control of the demonic portion of people?
He asked me, did I think there were some people that could not control that side? I said, yes, I guess there is.
It also states that Damien stated that the younger the victim would be more innocent, and in turn more power would be given the person doing the killing.
Right.
Okay. Did you say that?
Yes.
Okay, those are your words.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you pick that up when you were studying to be a Catholic?
No. I saw that on several movies, books.
Question number 11, when he asked you, how do you think they died? And its answer is mutilation, cut up all 3, heard they were in the water drowning, cut up one more than the others. Is that, again, what Officer Ridge said and you just agreed?
No, I had saw that on TV, newspapers, people talking.
And you knew it about the drowning, correct?
I knew they were in the water. I didn't know that they drowned.
And you knew that one was cut up more than the others?
He asked me, was it possible? He said, do you think one was hurt worse than the others? I said, yeah, I guess.
So again, that particular area is one of those things where Officer Ridge told you, and that wasn't your response. You just responded about the drowning and mutilation.
If he didn't get the answer he liked, he would go back and try to get me to say something else.
And it's your testimony specifically that you aren't the one who said one was cut up more than the other,
No,
that
I
it was
didn't.
Officer Ridge who said that?
I agreed with him when he said that.
Okay. And if he says something different, he'd be lying about it, right? You're the one telling the truth.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Did you hear somebody say something about the murder of the 3 little boys?
Yes, sir. I heard Damien Echols say that he killed the 3 boys.
Where were you? Was he saying that to you, or what were you doing?
I was walking by with my friend.
Jody, I want to direct your attention to May of 1993, after the murders of the 3 little boys. Did you have an occasion to be at the softball field and hear a comment in regard to the murders?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell the jury first what you heard.
He said, I killed the 3 little boys, and before I turn myself in, then I'm going to kill 2 more, and I already have one of them picked out.
You didn't recognize anybody else that was with him?
I saw Jason Baldwin there.
Margaret, 2 teenage girls took the stand this morning, and they said they heard Damien Echols confess to the murders of 3 8-year-old boys last May. One of the girls said she overheard Damien Echols say, I killed the 3 boys, and I'm going to kill 2 more. I already have one picked out. Later in the afternoon, when the defense began presenting its witnesses, Damien Echols himself took the stand. He said he thought the girls were lying and that they were making up those statements.
I walked into a softball game. I went around the concession stand and I hear people saying, there he is, that's him.
I mean, and they're pointing at you because they think you might have had something to do with the murders.
Yeah.
2 girls who were at that softball game that Damien attended testified that they overheard him admit to the murders.
And who was Damien talking to?
All the people there.
All the people there?
I don't remember saying that at the time because to me, I didn't actually do it. So it would have been like a joke.